Hello. Today I'm going to tie for you what I'm calling an EB Peeking Caddis. So if you follow me and watch some of my videos, you know that I like to tie flies that use either a newer or maybe a better technique and some new materials. So I think I've got that covered. This is an exercise band, and I guess they're made from synthetic rubber or latex. We're going to use that for the caddis itself. We're going to tie this on a 50/85 fulling mill hook. Going to use a little rabbit dubbing, kind of on both ends, as the head and as the case. One of these body feathers from the pheasant skin with its little black tips is going to make our legs. And we're going to hold it all together with this 8/0 black Uni-Thread. So the idea here is these, and again, I catch a lot of fish on these case caddises or something with a little green, and especially, and maybe it's more about because I know what it is, I try and get it down deep and bounce it along the bottom. But either way, I think this one has a lot of potential as well. I got it wet a few times. Can't really say the body count wasn't real high on this fly yet, but it's the fall and we're figuring things out as we go. So I've got the thread started. I wrap back to the bend. I want a little, kind of a pinch or two of dubbing here. We're just going to make a little ball, something that kind of looks like the head. So I want to make this either round or maybe a little oval. And a little bit around the bend, put a little curve into it. And here's a little pinch of those fibers from that pheasant body feather. And you can see the little black tips and keep them kind of short. I think I snagged my thread there, but we have a lot of wraps to go on, so I could just keep going. But there, I spread them out. You can see we have several legs. I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 8 seems about right. So back to this exercise band. So I found it, and I don't know, but I assumed it was latex, but I found out that they do make some of them in synthetic rubber, and I think it's going to be plenty durable enough. But the cool feature once I started to play with it was when you wrap it on the hook, it gets that kind of shiny, translucent look that I imagine looks like the caddis worm itself. So I have that piece of rubber tied in. I'm going to put a whip or two there. And you'll see I slipped with the on the first take, so I came back and I didn't use the bobbin cradle on the second take, but yeah, I lost hold of the rubber and I kind of cut that part out. But I am human. I could have left it in and kind of let everyone feel a little better that I make plenty of mistakes as well. So I'm only going to leave about a quarter of the hook shank stick out there in the green rubber. And now I zoomed out so you can see there's a little technique I'm going to use for dubbing here. You could have just pinched the dubbing on and wrapped it and kind of made your taper as you go, but I wanted this to be shaggy, and sometimes when I want the dubbing to come out a little more shaggy, I'll use a loop. So I'll pinch a bunch of dubbing on there, maybe about 4 inches or so. And then I'm going to use my shepherd's hook and fold this in the middle, make a loop out of it, and twist the loop. The most boring part of these videos is still pinching and twisting dubbing, right? All right, so here we go. Got a hold of the shepherd's hook, come in, kind of even things out there a little bit. And I could have thrown the bobbin over top to close the loop, but it really doesn't matter here because I am going to twist that up pretty tight. So I'll put a half hitch in so nothing moves. And I'll grab that hook and twist it. And then I'm going to use the rotary feature again. Make sure I cover up those initial thread wraps. And kind of work on making a taper because these worms get smaller. In this case, as we work toward the hook eye. And the cases do have, a lot of times have a little taper to them. And we'll get a couple of thread wraps across there to hold things down. Trim the excess of that loop. And there wasn't much waste there. I made about 4 of these before I actually filmed one, so yeah, we'll snip off some of the guard hairs that stick out. And that's pretty much it. We're going to build a thread head on here. I went a few more wraps because I noticed the hook eye wasn't perfectly closed. I don't want my tippet material getting caught on there and having some kind of failure. And we'll just put a nice whip finish on here to finish shaping that. What in some cases would be the head, in this case would be the tail. And there you have it. Now, of course, I could have weighted this fly to help get it down a little lower or a little quicker. But I usually fish a couple flies at a time. One might be a beadhead jig, and then put this, drop this off of that. But that's a pretty easy fly. You don't mind losing a couple of these if you're going to drag the bottom. And these kinds of flies catch a lot of fish here in Pennsylvania, or at least they have for me so far. So thanks for watching till the end, and I hope this helps you out. And if you want to learn more about me, look me up on Amazon. And until next time, be safe.